Hi everyone, and happy Friday. I'm actually recording this in advance because I'm at the office tonight, and tonight is our first in-person affinity group and youth meeting night since COVID. So it has been a long 18 months for some of these young people, and it's such a great opportunity to be able to gather them all together and have an in-person event where they can meet some of the people that they've been talking to online maybe, or they've been seeing at these Sunday youth groups, and meet them in person for the first time. And for a lot of these kids, I'm meeting them for the very first time too tonight. So super exciting. I'm also meeting some of our volunteers and some of our parents for the first time tonight. So that is why I'm pre-recording this, because we are going from 7 till 9, and then I have to go all the way home to Ancaster tonight, so I figured it probably would be best for me to pre-record it so that I can get out of here sooner rather than later. So yeah, but I'm super excited to be in the building again and to be able to have office hours. So for any of you who would like to talk youth ministry, like to talk about any of the affinity groups or anything like that, I will be in the office once a month on the third Friday of each month, and that will also be the day we are hosting a youth in-person night as well, as long as COVID restrictions don't revert back and get a little tighter. So with that being said, let's go into our Good News Friday for today. So I was looking through a bunch of different Bible verses, trying to decide what I would really talk about today as part of the good news. And I was, torn between two of them. So I was like, you know what? Why don't I just do both? So that's what we're doing. All right. So the first one comes from Isaiah, and it's Isaiah 52, verse 7. And this is the NIV translation for those of you who like to know what translation it is. And it says, "How beautiful on the mountains are the feet of those who bring good news, who proclaim peace, who bring good tidings, who proclaim salvation, who say to Zion, your God reigns." The next one is from Hebrews, and some of my favorite Bible verses actually come from Hebrews. So this is another one that I really like as well. And it is Hebrews 13, verse 16. And it reads, "Don't forget to do good and to share what you have, because God is pleased with all these kinds of sacrifices." And I do apologize. I think that one is the NIV translation as well, but I could be wrong, so don't quote me on it. So why are these things important? So we see that here, these are two verses from the Old Testament that speak to the good news, even though we tend to think of good news coming from possibly the New Testament or even the Gospels, because the Gospels actually translates into the good news. So when we're thinking about good news and, good things that are to come, we can look all throughout the Bible to find ways about spreading the good news, to find ways about talking about the good news, talking about good things that are to come, good things that have happened, and how we can share the good news with others. Because when you have good news, how often do you really just want to keep it to yourself? Right? Not very often. We like to share good news with people because it brings us joy, it brings other people joy, and I think it's so important for us, especially as Christians, to share good news and not just focus on the bad news, because we know, like I was talking about last week, that in the media there is so much focus on the bad news. So it can be really helpful sometimes to kind of switch it up and read those good news stories or talk about good news to other people and listen to their good news as well, because it's not just our good news that we want to focus on. We want to embrace everybody's good news. So I don't know about you, but I personally just love sitting down with people and asking them, what is something good that's happened to you this last week, this last month, depending on when the last time I saw them was, like since the last time I saw you, or even throughout COVID. I love, love, love hearing good news COVID stories, because there are good things that have happened through COVID. I, for one, learned to be more comfortable in my own skin. I learned to be more comfortable going outside without makeup on. And mind you, that probably is because I was wearing a mask that covered most of my face. But I got more comfortable going out without makeup on. And now I still go out without makeup on more days than not. So all of those things were really good news for me. And I got to figure out why I was having so many heart issues and having, minor heart attacks and stuff like that, and work with my doctors and my specialists about, switching that up and making sure that my heart rate was getting back to normal and I wasn't, getting up from my chair and having a heart rate over 200. So, those were good things that happened for me during COVID. So some other things that I did last week as well was letting you know where you can check out more good news things. So there is a newspaper, whether online or a physical hand copy of the newspaper you can get, and it's called The Happy News. So you can go to thehappynews.org, I believe, or just Google The Happy News, and it will come up with stuff, again, from all over the world, and it's just filled with all good things, and it's so exciting to kind of see those kind of things and talk about them and share them with other people. So if you know of any places where people can find good news, and specifically things that are only focused on good news besides the Good News Podcast, then make sure you comment down below or send me a message on my Facebook, which is my first name and last name, so Tracy Bazo and then -NBUC. And you can tell me which ones you like. Where do you find your good news for the day or for the week or for the month? I'm always interested in learning more about them and sharing them with our other viewers, whether they're watching this on Facebook or they're watching it on YouTube, whether they're watching it live or whether they're watching it later. It doesn't matter. Sharing good news is always so important. So I hope all of you guys have a really happy Friday. I'm just about to go down and let some youth into the building. I got to put my mask on again and meet up with some of our volunteers. So I'm super excited, and thank you for being so flexible with me. I know yesterday was pre-recorded as well as today, and I do apologize for that. I don't try and make a habit out of it, but sometimes it is a little convenient for me to be able to do this. So thank you so much. And I hope you guys all tune in for our Sunday service as well as we continue on the series of Who is Jesus. We'll be talking about God and humans this week. So yeah. All right, everyone. Have a great evening and have a good weekend. Bye.